All right, I request everybody to get settled. Namaste, Namaskar. A very good afternoon, everybody. I am Manali Shah, and it gives me immense pleasure in welcoming all of you to a very important roundtable discussion on the subject positioning central Gujarat as a bioeconomy hub. Organized by Department of Science and Technology, Government of Gujarat, in collaboration with Gujarat Rajya Institution for Transformation, that is GRIT, and key ecosystem partners. Can we have a huge round of applause, everybody? Well, today is a momentous day when the state government has announced their intentions to develop central Gujarat as a bioeconomy hub at the Vibrant Gujarat Regional Conference for the Central Gujarat region here at GSFC University, Vadodara. These days, potential of biotechnology has been recognized by many countries to address global challenges and contribute to the sustainable development goals. Major economies, including the United States, European Union, United Kingdom, China, Japan, South Korea, and Singapore are investing significantly in biotechnology-led innovation and biomanufacturing to strengthen economic resilience and global competitiveness. The focus of India on bioeconomy can be iterated through the Indian Bioeconomy reports that it has been annually bringing out at least since the year 2020. And Gujarat has tried to usher an era of bioeconomy through a number of ways. Gujarat was the first state to have formed a dedicated Gujarat State Biotechnology Mission in 2004 that worked extensively towards creating a culture of research, entrepreneurship, collaboration, and industry in the state. The current and previous versions of biotechnology policy have also ushered in an era of biotechnology. Today, we have gathered as the state of Gujarat aims to position its central Gujarat region as a bioeconomy hub at the Vibrant Gujarat Regional Conference. I now invite Dr. Anand Bhadalkar, Director, Savli Technology and Business Incubator of TST Gujarat, to welcome our guests to this roundtable meeting. A huge round of applause for Dr. Anand Bhadalkar, ladies and gentlemen.
Thank you so much, Manali ji. It is indeed a privilege and an honor to be standing amongst all of you. The net worth of this hall today has gone multiple folds, and that reminds me of something very interesting. About 119 years from today, in 1907, a company was born in Vadodara, and it went on to become a very reputed name in bioeconomy. It started with chemicals. Then in 1940s, it went on to start production of antibiotics and so on. And so it became a fermentation, a biotech company. Later on in 1961, became the first company to produce erythromycin. And then it was then inaugurated by the then Prime Minister, Lal Bahadur Shastri ji, in Vadodara. And here, 119 years later, we, again in the same town, we are talking about bioeconomy. Good afternoon, everyone. We'll soon be joined by ma'am. We'll soon be joined by Honorable Cabinet Minister Shri Arjun Bhai Modwadia. We already have our Honorable Secretary, P. Bharti ma'am here. Ma'am, I take this opportunity to welcome you, and in order to save time, what I'll also do is I'll also request for floral welcome in the meantime. I'll request Jadeja Saab to please welcome Bharti ma'am on our behalf, please. Thank you so much, Ma'am, your insights on Gujarat's S&T per se, the S&T landscape, your leadership, your guidance have been instrumental in enthusing the entire team of DST. We will now like to welcome Shri D.D. Jadeja Saab, Mission Director, GSBTM, and I'll request Dr. Snehal Bakhtaria to kindly do the honors. We'll like to welcome Dr. Rakesh Rawal, Director, GBU here, and I'll request Dr. Atish Rai to please do the honors. Thank you so much, sir. I'll request Ms. Krutika to please welcome Dr. Snehal Bakhtaria. Ma'am, we have with us CEOs of at least 45 companies. Ma'am, some of them have come from Hyderabad, Delhi, and far off places all over. We have a large number of companies from Gujarat. You name them, Sun Pharma, Cadila, all of them are here in TAS. Ma'am, we also have with us some startups here, and we have with us MDBCIL. We have the Vice Chancellor, MS University, will be joined by Chairperson Navarachana University. She is already here. Ma'am, I was telling them that this place has been instrumental for bioeconomy, ma'am. In 1907, Alembic was born, which went on to become a big name in bioeconomy. And a couple of years later, 2020, there was a company that was formed by the grandson of Vikram Sarabhai Saab and Mayuranki Almola, who's daughter of the legendary Professor V.V. Modi, who pioneered biotechnology in Baroda. They formed a company called as Kosara Diagnostics, which went on to contribute in RT-PCR kits, and that is how it was the first company to get license. So Vadodara has been a bhumi for this, and on this Jeshta Purnima, we are doing this bioeconomy. So ma'am, now with this, I welcome all the industry captains. We also have a few academia experts. We have people from IIT Gandhinagar, NIPER, MS University, and so on, GBU, of course. As I said, ma'am, we have some product launch and MOUs later. I now request you to please come and give us an insight onto the bioeconomy and take us through. Thank you so much.
You only do it, no? When I speak a relevant slide, if you can keep. Okay? Okay. Namaskar, good afternoon, all of you. My colleagues Jadeja ji, GSBTM, GBRC, Snehal, GBU, these are the 4 pillars of biotech system actually in ecosystem in Gujarat. One from GSBTM, GBRC, GBU and STBI. So today, you people know better than me, they are all industry experts. I know very little bit about biotechnology, but inaugural session I felt bad कि biotechnology के बारे में इतना नहीं बोला है. You have observed? Actually, this is the oldest thing. I just now completed one seminar in semiconductor. Semiconductor and electronics in last 4 years is jumped like anything. But biotechnology has lot of potential. Still, we are not able to get that leap or whatever. So we would like to hear from all of you. Today, how that central Gujarat to become a biotechnology. मेरा मुंह से भी बार-बार semiconductor ही आता है. When I joined since last 1 year, we're doing so much of semiconductor, electronics, biotechnology. We have to take it forward. A little presentation we have. Chalo. See, again, traditionally Gujarat is a chemical industries, even overall world also. Now we have to, that whole, because of sustainability, environment, all those things, we want to go towards biotechnology-led industries. So there you people, your involvement is the key actually. Petroleum-based in linear income to circular bioeconomy. Next. So if you see with the world level, 1.5 trillion to 5.7 trillion by 2034. That is the goal, right? They are the US, these big countries are the leading countries in the world. Next, come to India's, India ka what is the target actually? India, we are, I think 2014, we are around 20-30 billion. From there we came to 2014, 2025 post-pandemic. We reached to $195 billion economy. That we want to go to 300 billion by 2030. Matlab just three years. 195 billion to 300 billion dollars. So, what is the role of Gujarat now? Next. These are the clusters and various next. And government of India has come out with Bio E3 policy. You all know because every day you must be seeing and you must be applying also this Bio E3 policy. Next. So Gujarat, I am interested. Actually, Gujarat, we were at 13.92 means $14 billion in 2025. That we want to bring to 23.3, right? Almost $10 billion ko piche jayega Gujarat wala. Yeah. So we are Gujarat, top 5 states mein we are one. $10 billion badana hai within span of 3 years. And we are contributing to 3.7% of state GDP. And we have 747 startups. Piche, this is the most important slide. So 7% of India. So this is our problem statement, athava this is our goal actually, to which direction we want to go. So the $14 billion to $23.3 billion ko jana hai. Maybe top 5 matlab kaun? Maharashtra, Telangana, Andhra Pradesh, kaun? Karnataka, and we are the 5th. So maybe we can.
Third actually, Telangana and
Andhra, they are the.
we are third.
So in the by 2030, where we can go?
We want to be amongst the top 2, top 1.
Top 3 at least. Top 2 तो मतलब ज़्यादा और ambitious नहीं. Top 3 में जाना है. So please, I think we all of you tell us how to do that. चलो next. So this already I told, we have a GBU for talent के लिए, GBRC excellent research support it is giving. For startups and all, STBI, Savli Technology and Business Incubation, Biotech Park and Bulk Drug Park and BSL 4, that level 4 lab we are going to come up in Gujarat, Gandhinagar. Iska Katmurat bhi ho gaya, thus construction is going on. And biotechnology specific venture funds ka bhi funds we are keeping. And this year also we kept lot of funds for growth fund from product and prototype or to product or scaling up ke liye bhi we have lot of funds. And then we have a dedicated good policy, biotechnology policy. That policy also we'll discuss today. Whatever aapka suggestions say, because it is going to, by 2027 March, this ka policy period khatam ho raha hai. So we have to either extend the policy or come up with a new policy athwa amend it. Whatever aap log suggestions bataye, we will do that. Next. So this we are, subah se hum bata rahe ki how Gujarat, all of you know, the exports mein we are top, in manufacturing mein we are specific policies mein we are policy framework, we are logistics, we are the lowest cost mein Gujarat is the number 1. You know, of course, stable governance. So there is no dearth of policy level athwa governance, there are no issues. Next. So these are the advantages. So isko leverage karke kaise aage badhane. Now central Gujarat ko grit, you know, I think today Mamta, Aparna madam will come at around 4 o'clock. Ma'am's, she has come out with a central Gujarat bioeconomy master plan. So that in that she came up with a plan that central Gujarat ko bioeconomy hub banana hai. So for that she has almost 6 projects, very ambitious, very big Viksit Gujarat funds also government is giving. Usko we have to bring bio-manufacturing parks, manufacturing ecosystem for biofertilizers, biopesticides, drug discovery, advanced R&D facilities, high-yield seed R&D facility, next generation sequencing and that. These are all things you understand better than me. So all these things we have to come out in Baroda. So Baroda में क्या करना चाहिए? that we have to sit today and understand better. कैसे central Gujarat का, not only Baroda, whole central Gujarat को bioeconomy, maybe next time when regional vibrant आएगा तो पूरा का पूरा biotechnology की बात ही होना चाहिए. Like that we have to come out with that progress. Next. So again we have spoken, I think $165 to we have gone to 2024 को 300 में जाना है. Gujarat 12.89 to 23.33. So overall growth rate will be 16%. Next. So key points for deliberation. Aparna madam has told that ज़्यादा भाषणबाजी नहीं देने का. Tell them that clearly we want to do this. What exactly हमको करना है? For example, bio foundry बनाना है तो ecosystem लाना है. These are the words, English words नहीं. But exactly आपको क्या R&D support चाहिए? क्या क्या suppose plug and play facility चाहिए तो shared infrastructure चाहिए तो क्या exactly रखना चाहिए? We went and to saw that Vizag में क्या देख कर AMTZ. What is the full form? Advanced MedTech Park इतना अच्छा बनाए थे कि everything is there in one place. Testing, R&D, everything is there. Manufacturing, everything is go. Maybe वो sort में करना है तो हमको क्या करना चाहिए? Those things. So ये हमारा ये last slide है हमारा. One more slide. Key point, cluster development करना है. Industry government partnership in integrated biotechnology. तो overall I spoke you central Gujarat को हमको bioeconomy hub बनाना है. So कैसे बनाना है, क्या करना चाहिए? There is no dearth of funds. Government has given lot of funds to us. In fact, they have given seaweeds के लिए भी suppose the coastal belt में करना है तो भी we have lot of funds. Central Gujarat, biopesticide, manufacturing. So already GIDC has identified some land. Which place is that? Savla. Javla village in near Savli. So कितना land? 50 acres? 200 acres land we have already identified. So keep this in mind and please tell us how to go about it. We would like to listen very patiently and note down all the points. So it is actually, it is not a seminar or workshop, anything. It's like a round table. हम इसीलिए किया कि everybody will come out their points and by the time Aparna madam comes, we have to tell her that what is our deliberation. So one of you note down and we have to tell to ma'am. Okay? Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you so much, ma'am, for sharing the insights about the biotechnology ecosystem and the opportunities available in the sector and how Gujarat is well placed in tapping this opportunity as it's with its strong biotechnology ecosystem present in the state. All right. So now I hereby invite everyone to participate wholeheartedly and take advantage of this roundtable discussion platform in sharing some of the constructive initiatives that may be considered for onwards implementation to strengthen Gujarat's biotech ecosystem. With this, I will hand over the floor to dignitaries on the dais and request Dr. Anil Padalkar to support in leading the discussions.
So thank you, and we have had a fantastic primer now, and ma'am has already identified the key points for deliberation. So what I'll request you is, we'll start from one corner and then start, I'll ask you to do the following things. First, briefly introduce yourself and the strengths that you bring to the ecosystem, and also talk about possibly your inputs, which could be in either of these 9 parts. It starts from infrastructure development, innovation and commercialization, talents and skill. So the problems, the challenges that you would be facing on each of this, or your thoughts into it as to what should government do in these fields. We have some of the best brains. I was telling them, ma'am, the kind of net worth that we have over here and the kind of intellectual quotient we have here is fantastic. So I think let us start from Mankind Pharma over here. Sir, if we can start with you and then go ahead like that, and then, yes, sir. You can use the mics on your...
Firstly, a heartfelt gratitude from Mankind Pharma Limited for inviting us here and signing this MOU. You have already created a world-class infrastructure. And most importantly, it's a very investor-friendly ecosystem that we have. We had a lot of input from ma'am, a lot of support from Snail sir. We have met a lot of people, and all of them were so helpful in advising us on the policy. Just we need a little more, couple of clarifications as to EGFCI. So if you think it's a proper forum, I'll post them here. Hello.
Yes, you'll have to speak a bit louder out there.
I have a little throat problem.
No, no problem. Please go ahead.
Biotechnology is basically a lot of front-loading capex investment is there in biotechnology. By the time we think of starting a production, we have already invested almost 80% before we start production. Then again, there's a lot of regulations that come in, a lot of licensing, a lot of stability tests, a lot of things that go in there. By the time we can actually issue a commercial invoice, it's 1.5 years to 2 years, by the time we have already invested in the assets. So we need a little more clarification as to, we need a little support with ma'am that we need to have at least 5 years of capex as EGFCI and 2 years post-commercial production. This is one issue. We had already given a small representation to the ma'am. So suppose I start production in 2027, my capex investment,
80% of that capex investment will be done by 2025. So that brings it outside the scope of EGFCI. That's one problem. Then the supplementary claim is only 10% post-commercial production. So this is one little support we need in terms of slight modification in the policy. Second thing, a little more clarification on the term loan. That's not very clear. When to start, if I've taken capital assets prior to 2027, how the term loan is going to play out. This is the second important question that we have regarding the policy.
And I'll also request you to be brief, objective.
So we'll first talk about policy, otherwise everybody talk about policy, whoever wants to say something policy. Then we'll go to Central Gujarat, how to develop as a bioeconomy hub. Which is better? Yeah.
Sure.
So bioeconomy hub karte, then last mein we'll take policy suggestions.
Good afternoon and thanks for I'm Dr. Ravi Shankar from Sun Pharma. I'm heading biologics of Sun Pharma, so entire biotechnology. So thanks for inviting us to put some insight and input on that. So I would broadly categorize like what we need in short term, mid term and long term. Probably that would be an ideal way to look into entire progress kind of a thing. So overall, when you talk about biotechnology, I'm only talking from the drug discovery perspective. Probably the couple of more guys are talking on the other aspects you have covered into. When I talk about only from the drug discovery perspective, here the entire biotechnology is divided into 3 different parts. One is biosimilar development, second one is novel biologics development, and third is new generation, like cell and gene therapy. It's an advanced form of, drugs, personalized medicine, I should call it as. So what we need to, as a support, I should say, I don't want to use the ecosystem. The ecosystem is very, very important. Just take an example of biosimilar development. If I want to use any small scale facility, we don't have that facility. Today I'm looking for Hyderabad. The one very important, well-diversified site, you will get the code tomorrow. of like from 2 liter, 5 liter, 10 liter, 100 liters. So that's enough. So if we have that facility in next 1 year, that would be, it's nothing. So many of the vendors are there. Probably if you give a vendor, they will construct entire set in 6 months. So I'm bit point blank on certain things, so sorry for that. And that can be easily doable, not very cost. I mean, if I say probably within 50 to 100 crores, you can establish well set lab, what you have seen in Vizag kind of a thing. That's one part which tremendously help from the biosimilar development aspects, because India is gearing up, and so where this is very much needed to take the biosimilar on very fast track. This is a golden chance. 2030 to 2034 precisely, probably more than 20 to 30 drugs are coming out of that. All industries are working, but in the back end, if something is developed, the companies like Sun Pharma, Mankind, anyone in task can easily take it up and take it to the next level from the regulatory perspective. That is one very important point. So ecosystem in the sense, entire development of this. Second is like novel biologics, where we need a little bit advanced system, where probably I have seen one of two areas where extensively investment is happening. So majorly on the cell engineering, that's very important. We do a talent pool, but we don't have a facility. Once again, very advanced facility is needed to have that next generation cell line development, where China is very aggressive. Today we are talking about 2 to 3 grams per yield, where China is claiming 10 grams per yield. That eventually reduces the cost or a cost of goods tremendously low. That's huge benefit for the Indian patients. That is the next one important part, where that you can take it as a midterm plan. Probably a lot of systems will be added into. So we can create a group of whoever interested in this. We wholeheartedly support in this program at any point of time. Brainstorm, get an instrument kind of a thing, and put it where it needs to be done. That's the second one. The third, very advanced cell and gene therapy, is very late stage kind of a thing. But there are, we come across a doctor who is having excellent, I should say, a proof of concept, but there is no support for them. So, you need to scout out these kind of development along with the startups, and you should encourage those things. And then probably from there we can take it out. Probably I'm stopping here in the interest of time. So majorly one ecosystem development, and the one important, I'm just touching upon the policy probably from our MD to everywhere, it's like discussed a lot, is a reduction in the time of approval. That's a huge issue. Regulatory approval, when we talk about entire biosimilar or biologics development, it takes 5 years, where the regulatory approval is like 1.8 years to 2 years. So that needs to be reduced down. That would certainly help us for fast track development. So thank you. Thanks for giving an opportunity.
Thank you. Dr. Bakulesh Kamar from Cadila Pharma. I'll just echo what he said. So whenever you develop infrastructure, try to make sure that they are accredited, because majority of our infrastructure, which we can't use for regulatory purposes, we have those structures, we have those facilities, but we can't use it, we have to go out. So whatever you create in a way that it can be used for regulatory purposes. There can be NABL, CGMP, and look at international standards, because if we are trying to go to the next level, we will be going to the international level. So that's the one suggestion. While doing whatever we are doing as a Gujarat, I find there is a lack of alignment in overall growth policy. Right arm thinks differently, left arm thinks differently, and we don't match, and that's the reason we are not progressing with the speed with which we could do. Then if you are so if you want to say industry academia collaboration, I'm just giving one example. Is there anything in the academia where they have a domain expertise which is world class, or they have something which is first time in the world. We don't find it. But we are providing them funds with the research grant. They are doing their excellent job. Whatever they continue, they continue doing it. But if you want to go to the next level, they have to, support it. It's not that they can't do it. Everybody can do it. But then when it comes to the funding, there's a fear of failure in everybody's mind. From fear of failure, we have to create freedom of failure. Because if you want to go to the next level, there'll be multiple failures. It's not going to be straight path. And then you have to create mentors around the person who's doing a good job, who's trying to do something differently, which we lack. I think I'll stop here.
Hello everyone, hello dignitaries. My name is Geet Arora and I come from Sandiota and Humandis.
If I can pause you, maybe we have honorable ministers stepping in, so we'll pause for a while, welcome him, and then we can.
Shall I continue? Right. And I come from a company called Sandiota and Humandis Probioticals. In a nutshell, for people who don't know what Sandiota is, we are experts in evidence-based probiotics, phytobiotics, postbiotics, and microbiome-based products. This is approximately a $250 billion global industry headed by the United States in terms of market size. And there is scope for quite a bit of innovation and support from the government when it comes to this industry. And I try to point it out in different parts of the value chain.
Interrupt you here, as we are graced by the Honorable Cabinet Minister, Sir, for Science and Technology, Forest and Environment, Government of Gujarat, Shri Arjun Bhai Modwadia, sir. Give a huge round of applause, and I will request Srimati P. Bharati Ma'am, Secretary DST, to welcome him with a bouquet. Keep clapping, everybody. Welcome, sir. So, all right, we can continue. Yeah.
Right. Welcome, sir. Very, very happy to have you over here. And as I was saying that there are different parts of the value chain which the government... Sure.
Sir, Central Gujarat ko, as per GRIT, sir, Central Gujarat Economic Master Plan, we have to develop Central Gujarat as bioeconomy hub. So for that, sir, right now our bioeconomy is around 13.3, Gujarat ka 14 billion, sir. That we have to achieve by 2030 ko 23 billions. And with this, sir, GRIT has come out with a lot of projects, sir, 6-7 projects like bio manufacturing hub banana hai, bio pesticides, bio fertilizers hub banana hai, drug discovery karna, aisa 6-7 projects, sir. So we are listening and trying to get their challenges or what are the requirements from each industry leaders present here, sir.
The first part of probiotic value chain that most companies struggle with is actually creating the technology or creating the product. Most of us are able to isolate the commonly available strains, but if you are really looking forward to something that's innovative in nature, there are dedicated research houses that are working in Europe or China that have access to those strains. For example, in probiotics, you have anaerobes that are gaining a lot of tractions these days because that's the next generation of how probiotics is developing. To be able to access those technologies, because for an organization to be able to isolate and then develop that may not always be possible. But to access those technologies, there is a technology transfer possibility. But ma'am, it's so costly that at times it starts off from a figure as low as 5 lakhs, but it goes up to 5 crores as well to get a single strain, to get a single technology with very limited possibilities in terms of scale up. So that's the first area where we should harp, because Gujarat and India is good in scale, but when it comes to innovation and innovative products, we need to first have access to innovative products that have already been developed up to a certain level across the world. Let's say Europe is the primary area where all of these innovations used to happen, and now China. The second area where maybe GSBT or the whole ecosystem of Gujarat can probably work is by working on focus projects such as what BIRAC does. So, for example, if you have a focus area of, let's say, alternate proteins or developing postbiotics, instead of using the policy as a medium, maybe you can give a short-term stint to organizations that are interested in developing that product. So with BIRAC, for example, there are short-term stints that come in which if someone wants to develop, let's say, a plant-based protein, or if someone wants to develop a microbiome meant for women's health, then they give out very specific focus projects with grants or funding against a deliverable that the organization gives in. This helps because it has a short lead time. The company can work on developing that technology, and that technology remains within the ecosystem of Gujarat, and that has a lot of application across. So this can be outside the policy, can be done with the same people that do the policy, but it's like a very short-term project, focus project that you can roll out maybe once on a quarterly basis or once on a 6-monthly basis. So this is the first part of value chain, that is technology creation. Second part is evidence creation, and wherein I agree with the gentleman sitting next to me, the freedom to fail. To be able to create a global product, scale and process is important, getting the yield is important, but getting the right therapeutic evidence and clinical studies, safety studies, toxicology studies is extremely important now in a global world. As we know that China is now dominating the IP landscape of the world. It's no more the US. China is coming up with the most IP, the most clinical studies that it does in the world. And there's a reason for that, because IP is a long-term protection. That if any product has an IP back or it has a clinical data back to it, there is proof of efficacy. And that sort of product attracts a lot of pull. You don't need to push and go out and be cost competitive in the market. You can create a brand out of that product. But that component has not been very actively addressed, at least as far as the initiatives that I understand have come from the ecosystem till now. And this is one thing where I would request the whole fraternity to think and see how the industry can be supported, because there is a chance of failure also in this. This is not a tangible thing. You can do a clinical trial and it may not lead to anything. So there is a possibility of failure in this, but it is a very critical element to address in the whole scheme of things. The third lever is scale, and I don't have a lot to talk because GSPT and the whole ecosystem have been front runners in thinking about how to help industries scale up and subsidize the large scale initiatives. So I won't take a lot of time on that part, but developing good scale, if we really want to replicate what maybe Karnataka has done through Biocon and Anthem, we need those large scale facilities. And today, a Concord or certain industries, certain gentlemen sitting on my right hand side, they have those scale, but CDMO or large scale facilities are still very limited in Gujarat if I consider biotechnology. So that's an area that we can attempt to attack. And fourth is, I was reading about what were the good things that China did, that it is in a place, for biotech at least, it is in a place where it is right now. And one of the things that I came across was this project called Sea Turtles, wherein they attract all the talent that has gone out of China, technical talent, and they bring them back to India. and they are able to facilitate that in terms of comfort, safety, entrepreneurial aspects. And why is that important for us? Because at times we all struggle in getting the right technical talent, and and senior level technical talent. Through GBU and through a lot of these universities, we have a lot of junior talent, but senior technical talent, if we want to get them, we hesitate, we struggle a bit, because they bring in their, they may not be comfortable coming back, they bring in the results after a long time. So that was my last point that I wish to speak, and thank you all for inviting me.
We have 60 minutes, so let us be mindful of that. Thank you so much. Next.
Good afternoon. I'm Dr. Abhijit, scientist from National Institute of Virology, ICMR. So we are government institute. So what points I put forth is from that angle. So we have NIV has a very good virus repository. We have BSL-3 facility, India's only BSL-4 facility. We can do a lot many experiments when it comes to therapeutics, development of vaccines, animal challenge studies. We also have electron microscopy unit, so we can support in terms of many scientific problems that whatever we can do. Suggestions from our angle is we can do lot many things, but government institute is already burdened by so many responsibilities. The way we see in development of, say, co-vaccine, where industry and government institutes came together and worked together. But in order to do so, we need to have very clear-cut focus, very specific deliverable. Say, for example, development of antivirals for influenza. So we need to go down to that level. What is the priority, national level priority, which is apt for establishing in this ecosystem? Because when we are seeing, this is a very broad terminology, but nowadays each product is so nuanced that for that, establishing an ecosystem for that product, one has to think a lot. Say, for example, a type of antivirals. Then you have to have so many different entities to come there. And then I also want to suggest that government entities, they have a lot of capacity, but we have to be innovative in terms of not burdening them, yet the collaboration should be synergistic. With that, a specific focus of what exactly you expect and what ecosystem you want to develop, taking academia, government research institute, and private sector coming together for a specific project or typology of projects, and they dedicatedly work on that, so that the outcomes will be relatively faster. So that's what input from my side. Thank you.
Hello, myself Nirav Desai. I'm founder of Yapan Bio, and we are the one who left Gujarat 7 years back and founded this company in Hyderabad. And we are based in Genome Valley. I'll only share why we went. So because that's the reason, that's what I think you are looking for. So first of all, the plug and play biotech park are not existing in anywhere in Gujarat. So at that time also, we had a very good policy. We had very supportive GSBTM who wanted us to stay. But unfortunately, we had only land available, which can take at least 3 to 4 years for us to start earning. While in Hyderabad, with Genome Valley Biotech Park, we could do it from the first year. So plug and play, warm shells, and ma'am, you were there when you visited Genome Valley. Anand was there, so you have seen what kind of warm shells they are. And just to add to that, when we say the startup growth and economy, so if you see that entire Genome Valley area, it has got startup incubation centers. It has got iHub, which has a pilot facility, like some of our colleagues were talking about. and they are maintained by a public-private partnership. So that, as Cadilla's representative said, it has to be accredited. So it is as per the US FDA requirement, and it is maintained by them. And whenever there is a startup coming up, they are given discount and they can do their scale up, they can do clinical trial and get into market much faster. Another thing which BioE3 policy, what we were talking about, BioE3 policy is good. It can be done, but not as a government establishing a bio manufacturing hub or a facility. It should be with the private intervention. Otherwise, to maintain that facility is impossible. Being a CDMO, we cater to the Western world. We develop products for them, which are vaccines, gene therapy, as you were saying, monoclonal antibodies, ADC, we develop all of them. And we know how critical it is to have that facility up and running every time. It has to be 365 days, 24/7. And the most And the last point was about the startup, because startup is going to be the very critical ingredient in growth. To attract startup, what is required is, as we were talking about, the academia partnership. Now, as some of them already said, academia is focusing only on a basic research rather than applied product-oriented research. So the PhDs, MPhils, they are not trained to develop a product. They are trained more to develop research thesis rather than which is going to be on the shelf for their life, not a product which will be in market. So that's, and I'm PhD from here, Ahmedabad. So I'm telling you the real facts that we have already faced here. And the last is the cost for startups. The cost of equipments. So when we are talking about the venture funds and all those things, the quantum of those funds is very small. If you talk about real biotechnology, where we are talking about gene therapy products or monoclonal antibody products or innovative products, that quantum is going to be very small. So there are two ways of doing it. Either that fund can be increased, or the surrounding facility like a manufacturing hub is provided, which is subsidized for them to go and use it, or in addition to testing facilities which can be subsidized. So all those things can reduce the cost indirectly or directly, giving them, the startups, more money to survive in this competitive world. So those are the points. Thank you.
Good afternoon, everyone. This is Sharad Gupta from IIT Gandhinagar. I also currently head the Department of Biological Science and Engineering. So as before my colleagues talked about and academia, so one of the major challenge in developing bioeconomy any place is the as of now biotechnology is progressing very, very fast worldwide. So we have to be ahead of the curve. So for example, the adoption of new cell engineering platforms, as my colleagues already discussed, right? Regulatory hurdles. So for example, new approach methodologies, which are emerging very, very rapidly, and that is also a major challenge in India. So in addition, we also have the arrival of AI. I think I didn't hear the word AI, so because everybody is afraid of AI, right? But actually, biology as a whole has been a big beneficiary, actually the largest beneficiary of AI. But unfortunately, the way the education system works, it's more like bio, then you don't teach math, and if you learn math, you don't learn bio. So institute like IIT Gandhinagar and other education institute that can contribute a big way, that we can contribute to our integration of these AI-based tools in the bio-based systems. Also, the new approach methodologies, so from end to end, developing of, say, organoid platforms, bringing new cell engineering platforms. And we have already been working with Gujarat biotechnology organization like STBI. We recently signed MOU for the AI-based development. Also, we have been working closely with GBU, GBRC very closely. So, and there are several institutes nearby in Gandhinagar, Ahmedabad, Baroda area, where there's this niche expertise there. They're experts from world-class universities who have come there, but there's no integration. So if there's some kind of center could be developed which could be partially guided by the industry, funded by the government and also central government, and there the technological institute can contribute. So this is one thing I think that can be done to fast track the development of bioeconomy in Gujarat especially. So with that, in the interest, I will be very happy to discuss if any further thing. Thank you.
Good afternoon, all the dignitaries. I am Dr. J.C. Lilani, Registrar, Gujarat Biotechnology University. We are the university under Department of Science and Technology, specifically focusing on biotechnology. We have a state-of-art equipments purchased, and more we are doing that. So I think I can request all of you, if there is any specific need for, I think Dr. Raval is also there, Professor Raval is also there. So we'd be happy to have this testing in our labs. I'd also like to request if there is any industry-specific problems, our students MSc, PhD, and this time government of Gujarat has granted us 10 postdocs, which will be specifically working for problem, industry-based problem, or any specific Gujarat or India-based problem. So they would be also happy to work on any of the industry-specific problems. So we can also collaborate in that. We are also open for industry-sponsored PhD. So I think if it is we can collaborate on that also. So any joint research projects, probably we are having a project with Cell Immune, which is in Concord Biotech on CAR-T cell. So any other specific related problems or project, we would be happy to work together, and Dr. Raval is here, so we can collaborate. In the interest of this time, I am stopping here. Thank you.
Good afternoon. Myself, Chirag Trivedi, Head of R&D at Prompt Equipment Private Limited. And along with me, our founder director, Mr. Shreyas Mehta, is also there. So in this group, we are a little bit different. We are a dairy sector company, and we are providing our products and solution to the different collection center of this country. And we are present at the 75,000 village in India. Now coming to the biotech section, we are today we are observing that, and our focus is on purity. So when you see today, lots of broad spectrum antibiotic has been used for the animals, and that antibiotic through milk is coming to the humans, and that's how it is created the antimicrobial resistance. So being in this industry for 30 years, what we have now focused is on POCT devices for the animal. Because we know that the veterinary doctors across the country, if you see the population of the dairy animals, it's 30 crore animals are there in India. But if you see the veterinary doctors are very less. So what we are focusing is, we are creating different POCT devices to detect disease at the farm level. And that's how we can reduce the use of antibiotic for the animals. So thanks to GBRC, we are transferring technology. We have already transferred one technology from the GBRC, which is for the probiotic in animals. So we are thankful to such an institute, but one more thing we want to ask to the government, that if you can provide us initial manufacturing facilities, because when we are doing a research and introducing a new product into a market, initially the volumes are not so high. So we can't invest for the full-fledged manufacturing. And for the initial few period, if we can get a scale-up facility over the institutes or the university who can help us up to reach, give these products manufacturing up to some level, then it will help us to bring this technology ahead. Second thing, since most of the people here are from the pharmaceutical sector, and this animals' health is a least concern for us, but if you see a One Health concept, these diseases will one day come from animal to us. So we are looking for some vaccines for the animals also. For example, the mastitis is very big vexed problem all over the world. And the Indian farmers are losing more than 10,000 crore rupees every year. Lumpy skin is also there, but mastitis is really affecting the economy of the farmers. So if anybody from this group can work on the vaccines for the medicines, then we would be happy to be collaborating with them and taking this forward ahead. Since we are in this dairy sector for the last 30 years and have a presence in 75,000 villages of India, so, and we can take this solution to the society and help our farmer to grow. And again, adding to that, our prime minister is our focus is on increasing the income of farmer or doubling the income of farmer. So if we can provide such a solution, it will help to the rural economy and the farmer. Thank you very much.
Thank you. I'm Sai Prasad from Bharat Biotech. I've come from Hyderabad. Namaste. So we are a company that was established about 30 years ago in Genome Valley, the same place where Yapan Bio is. We are the first company to be established over there. I think in our country, and especially in Gujarat, there is enough entrepreneurship. The beauty of our country is we have enough entrepreneurs in our country, and we don't need to give any further guidance to entrepreneurs as to how to build their business and scale their business. We are an entrepreneurial country. But there are certain startup issues that these entrepreneurs want, and I think that's what many of the people are speaking about. And that's where policymakers and that's where governments can come in. An entrepreneur knows how to scale their business from 100 crores to 10,000 crores. But the first 0 to 100 is where I think majority of the issues are. And what are those issues? The first issue I think is, concept of innovation. Because we can't go from a $13 billion economy here to a $23 billion economy just by pure manufacturing. That will take many, many manufacturing facilities and hundreds of facilities and sometimes difficult. So we have to focus on a certain amount of innovation. And to give you an example, one product, Sir mentioned Covaxin, one product was more than $1 billion product, such a short period of time, purely because we were able to innovate along with NIV and ICMR and develop a product in short duration. So that means more products can come out. So a couple of quick examples that I have is, we have something called SEZs and EOUs for Ministry of Finance has given that. And those SEZs and EOUs let us manufacture product for foreign countries. And when we manufacture those products, we pay less taxes in our country, to a certain extent. So a similar concept, I think we should request, this is to the government of India, not just for Gujarat, so that we can have a SEZ or an EOU concept for pharma and biotech industries, where when companies like Yapan Bio or us are manufacturing or developing products that are not for India, but only for foreign countries, there should be some kind of a different approval and a mechanism so that we don't have to get caught up in the Indian regulatory system, especially when the product is not for India, it's only for a foreign country. I think that is something that we should think about. And the second concept is, I will end it very quickly, is how do we incentivize young people to do innovation? We have to create, I think somebody else also mentioned, is a fund, a startup fund that will encourage young entrepreneurs to do this work. But definitely an incubator facility with pilot scale and GMP scale facilities is very much required. That will help so many companies get their ideas in at a low cost and have it succeed or fail before they scale it up. Thank you, sir. Thank you for inviting me.
Thank you so much, sir. I just want to bring to the notice of the House, we are 45 minutes done out of 60 minutes. We have many more voices to be heard. I'll request all of you to be brief. And Bioeconomy 2026@gmail.com we have just created so that we can have this dedicatedly only for your inputs. And please do feel free to send in. We will bring it directly to the notice of Honorable Minister, sir. So Bioeconomy 2026, we have, and I'll also request a lot of aspects. Yes, very important, GMP facilities, small scale manufacturing, we have already covered. So please try to, whatever has been covered, please try to avoid. Please go ahead quickly.
Yeah, so I'm Purnima Sharma, Managing Director, Biotech Consortium India Limited. So this is a company which has been set up as an initiative of the Department of Biotechnology, Government of India, to catalyze linkages between academia and industry to facilitate technology transfers and commercialization. We, in our experience, we have seen that the technologies which have been developed in the research institutions they are, not developed with the commercialization or transfer, intention. And when we try to transfer them, there's a lot of difficulty. So in a way, there's no pull from the industry side. So I think this is something which needs to be addressed when we are now talking about bioeconomy from Gujarat point of view. And I've seen that technology transfer and commercialization is one of the major focus areas of deliberation. But this is, of course, part, as many of us have already mentioned, is that, for some of these specialized technologies like biosimilars, biotherapeutics, cell therapies and all, I think where a lot of investments have to be flown from the industry side, we must have a mechanism by which we rope them in right from the initial stages. And there has to be funding support, generous funding support from the government. So those mechanisms have to be put in place. But for others, because definitely innovation research has also be dealt largely from the curiosity point of view. So from all other technologies which are developed, there has to be an internal mechanism which should be market driven. That is, that there has to be, gap, we have to identify the gap areas, and also by very clear cut market, intelligence to ensure that all those research leads are somewhere taking into consideration the gap areas identified by the industry, farmers, by our clinicians, and others, stakeholders, so that basically they should be of societal relevance. So there has to be a mechanism. I think from there, the technology transfer offices, the TTOs, they assume a lot of importance. And we can think of having regional TTOs, because one cannot have institutional specific TTOs. That becomes these are TTOs again are very specialized, because not only supposed to help in technology transfers alone, but also helping identifying the need, the gap areas, doing the market intelligence, also identifying the specific industries, helping with IP, facilitation, and that itself, needs a lot of funds. I've seen most of the technologies which are developed, they are not transferred because they are either not protected, or if they are not protected, they are not maintained. So I think we need a lot of funding support from IP, securing IPs, for setting up the pilot facilities, specialized pilot facilities, and that too accredited facilities. And also, venture funds, because, we can, with all these funds, like we have BIG, SIBRI, BIP in the central government, we should have similar funding support coming at the state level too, because those central schemes cannot cater to all the, gap areas which are required. So there is I would say it's a very specialized areas, and when I look at these key areas of deliberation, even to take the technologies forward, we have to have integrated innovation networks, the industry, government, stakeholder partnerships, investments, policy and regulatory enablements. So policy, I mean that, the institutions should not just be rewarded based on the publications or the patents they have filed, but in terms of the technologies actually transferred, the products which are in the market, industry collaborations, etc. I think there's a whole, it's a specialized area, and it takes into consideration all these points which have been mentioned for deliberation. So maybe I can put forth some of these points later on. It's very difficult to summarize everything in this short time frame. So thank you very much.
Good afternoon. Myself, Professor Bhalchandra Bhanige, Vice Chancellor, the Maharaja Sayajirao University of Baroda. Our university is one of the oldest institutions to train manpower in the area of biotechnology. We have all sorts of subjects, and we are training manpower in the field of biotechnology, cell biology, molecular modeling, everything. And we are training our students at bachelor, master, and PhD level. Under NEP 2020, our student also goes for internship to various industries. So my appeal to all industry partners to take our students for internship and judge them, and of course they will be your future employees. As far as labs are concerned, research in the biotech area requires lots of funding, and that funding, I invite industry partners to join us develop collaborative projects, and that will also upgrade our labs. So from that perspective, my appeal to all industry partners to come, we are open for collaboration. We have IPR cell, startup cell, incubation center, all the ecosystem required for further development is there. We can also have lectures from industry partners. Also, our faculty can come to your campuses and give the lectures. So this way, MSU is open to industrial partnership. All of you are welcome. Thank you.
Thank you, sir. Good afternoon, everyone. Thank you for this opportunity. I'm Dr. Bhuvnesh Srivastav. I lead corporate affairs in AstraZeneca Pharma. And it's a very opportune discussion today. Possibly I'm the only few MNCs in the room, so I'm slightly digressing from the ask because Secretary Ma'am in the beginning in her presentation, she made a very clear ask that what could be your policy recommendations. So from that angle, I just want to draw your attention to one specific point, ma'am, wherein we can particularly target one announcement that has been done by Government of India recently, the Biopharma Shakti for strengthening the clinical trial network in the state. That is where we had a recent meetings with the ICMR and DOP, and I'm very fortunate to have Aparna ma'am here because many regulatory streamlining that we see today, the initiative on the Biopharma Shakti is something that ma'am started. And that is where the government is very clear that, industry should come forward to partner with the institute and set up those clinical trial sites. So the announcement is for 1,000 clinical trial site with the budget outlay of 10,000 crore. So that is where all the MNCs, they are looking just because of this geopolitical condition that is happening today, the disturbance that are going on in different part of the world, that to set up those clinical trial sites in India. Very happy to submit that AstraZeneca is already conducting 93 trials in India, and we want to do more. One good thing about Gujarat is, and that is where I want to build on this opportunity, that we have all the ingredients to do that, starting from the institute like GCRI, then we have the hospitals, we have the good patient pool, then we have the local pharma manufacturing, analytical capabilities, and the ecosystem to do all those clinical trials. So that is where I will submit a big note to Dr. Badalkar as you suggested, but that is one opportunity we wanted to build, and the clear to ask from the policy perspective would be, one, to make the cancer a notifiable disease in the state of Gujarat, which is currently not. Cancer is a notifiable disease in close to 15, 16 states in India, but not in Gujarat. Because Gujarat, GCRI, GBRC, all are doing very well on the oncology research. And together with them, we can set up many sites. Not only AstraZeneca, many MNCs can set up those sites in Gujarat. And the second ask would be to incentivize the clinical trial network establishment in your upcoming biotech policy beyond 27. So thank you so much.
Yeah, good afternoon. I'm Adarsh Desai, Managing Director of Infinita Biotech. I think we are into manufacturing of enzymatic solutions, and I think the timing is very right for us because indeed we are in the process of setting up an enzymes production facility specifically for the production of enzymes used for second generation ethanol and biofuels. I think the problem statement is very clear right now. We have secured a land which is not a part of GIDC or any of the biotech parts. It's an independent land, and the permissions, the clearances are extremely complex. We have to deal with multiple agencies, GPCB, the power board, the electrical board, and there are so many different parts of the whole ecosystem to get this ongoing. And I think being a part of a biotech park, of course, has its pluses, but then again, the cost is a big part. So hence, we have to look out for other options. So I would just say that while there is a single window policy in place to get all the clearances, I think maybe if there's some hand-holding done on a more specific level, then I think it would be really helpful. And we are in need of this. We are in the process. So I think any support from the government will be really helpful. Thank you.
Hi, this is Nishant Patel. I'm a founder of a deep tech company called Envirazyme. I'm stationed with Dr. Anand Badalkar's setup at STBI. The only couple of things that I would have to mention would be to make largely as a deep tech entrepreneur, I would actually like to have collaboration made a lot more easier as compared to what it is today. And not only from a space of doing the initial piece of research, but also when companies like myself are partnering with GBU, are partnering with Pandit Deendayal Energy University, we are trying to see how we can translate any of these from actual bench to real time. And for deep tech, two larger constraints: one, capital; second, actually seeing it, work out as trials at different places. So if there can be something that can be done either at the first end of the, which is the capital part of it, or supporting us at the time when you're translating it in real world, that will be the only piece that I would want to call out very specifically.
Good afternoon, everyone. I am Saju Sebastian. I represent Perfect Day India. And we at Perfect Day are we pioneered the world's first animal-free whey protein. And we are in the final stages of putting up our large-scale manufacturing plant here in Gujarat, in central Gujarat, expected to commission in the next 2 months. Coming to what we started off the discussion as, how can we look at, Gujarat as a bioeconomy hub? I think when we speak of biotech in Gujarat, because Gujarat majorly being a pharma chemical sector, biotechnology in Gujarat is viewed more towards the pharma sector. I think we need to break it up into, kind of subsectors, a food supply chain, because we are doing on the food supply chain. I think biotech in the food supply globally is very, very big in the last 5-6 years. Billions and billions of dollars are going into the food supply chain, alternate food supply chain using biotechnology as a medium. And that's exactly what we are doing. I think, so we break up biotech into, a pharma, food supply, bioplastics, that's where I think, the industry specific, people can look at it and then, come to Gujarat and say, yes, I can deliver this here in Gujarat. The second point that I want to make is that what he rightly said, the gentleman rightly said, when we are speaking to GSBTM, the team at GSBTM, we are all gung-ho, it's a biotech project, and, kind of, when we get to the ground, we say, hey, meaning, we are going to come up in the next 1 year. But when we hit the ground, that's when the reality actually hits us. There are multiple departments, and the industrial body, GIDC or any other industrial body, doesn't, kind of reciprocate in the same way as, kind of GSBTM reciprocates with us. So that enthusiasm actually, filters down to a great extent. So as, Aparna ma'am said, since morning everybody is talking of only Semcon, But in Gujarat, if we want to talk of bioeconomy as a hub, I think, from top to bottom, everybody needs to also understand that, biotech is a space that can generate significant amount of interest and revenue for the country. That's it.
Thank you. I am Tulip Nuwal. I basically head the cell and gene therapy function at Intas, and I'm also joined by my colleague Arpit, who heads the biologics biosimilar side at Intas. So we'll just communalize our requirements to the government because we really don't have a solution yet as to how this can be fixed. But the two major challenges that we face is from the regulatory side. I think that has been discussed and debated quite some by all the folks here from industry and academia. And the other is on the skills side, availability of right skills. And I'll speak specifically from terms of cell and gene therapy here. We require niche skills for the product development of it. We have products luckily in clinic now, but it has been a big challenge, something that could have been done in 3 to 4 years. If you look at our Chinese counterparts, they have got products approval in therapy areas which are still under academic research in US. And if we have to keep up with that kind of pace, we need to have access to that kind of talent. How that can be done, I think that is something as a collective mindset has to be put to it. We don't have a solution to it yet. Yeah.
Good afternoon. I'm Rajneesh. I'm representing Revi. We are a startup in the industrial biotech space, already graduated from STBI, trying to scale up the manufacturing of microbial consortia which are used in bioremediation process, especially the wastewater treatment and biogas generation. The challenges I'm facing is during the scaling up, For past 3 years, I'm at TRL 7, trying to move to TRL 9 for full commercialization. But the clearance of Pollution Control Board, the CTE and the CTO. Since I have developed an innovative product, microbial consortia, applied for the clearances, there's no list of that product into the GPCB or the central government list. So I have been put into a classification which is pharma, because I have developed something new, research product. So I put into pharma category, red category, and all the rules have been applied to us on the red category, which I am fighting, combating. So I'm requesting to the dais, anybody can help me. I want to help to reach Gujarat Bioeconomy from 13 to 23, but help me out to reach that level.
Good afternoon to all. I am Dr. Ajay Sachan, working as a Deputy Drugs Controller, CDSU Ahmedabad Zonal Office. So I have been invited here to, if there are any queries related to our department, so you are always welcome. I am happy to answer.
All right, so there is an excellent participation by each one of you present over here, and I know there are still so many people wanting to speak a lot, but as we have Miss S. Aparna ma'am, retired IAS, Chief Executive Officer, Gujarat Rajya Institution for Transformation, gracing this occasion, can we have a huge round of applause for her? And I will request Dr. Anil Badalkar sir to welcome her with a bouquet. Thank you so much, ma'am. Your presence means a lot to us. Can we give it up once again? All right, so as there is a lot more discussion going on, now it's time to understand how Gujarat's economic master plan, duly envisioned by GRID, under the able leader, Ms. S. Aparna ma'am, IAS retired, Chief Executive Officer, Gujarat Rajya Institution for Transformation. I'll now request ma'am, can you please come here and address the people?
Good afternoon, Honorable Minister, Shri Arjun Bhai Modwadia Sahib, distinguished members of the Department of Science and Technology, specifically in the biotechnology sector, my old friends from biopharma industry, as you have mentioned, those entrepreneurs and industrialists of biotech who are not doing pharma, members from the higher education institutions who I just had the pleasure of hearing. So I would like to take a few minutes and kind of set the context for you. GRIT, that is Gujarat Rajya Institution for Transformation, it is a think tank set up by the government of Gujarat about 20 months ago, September 2024, and it is set on the lines of Niti Aayog. So since the government of India has an ambition of Viksit Bharat 2047, so we have to be a developed country by 2047. That is not possible till all states also develop. So the Niti Aayog came out with a plan to set up these think tanks in every state. Some states have set up, some have not set up, etc. But we in Gujarat have set up this think tank. So it's a very lean and mean organization, small organization like a startup. For the first 4 months, it was just me and one executive assistant, Bejana Metyata. And then, of course, slowly we got consultants, subject experts. But even now, we are not more than 20 people. And the except me, I am 63, I think except me and 1 or 2 more people, everybody is below 40. Because with due respect to all elders here, I think 2047 ownership has to be taken by the next generation. They have a stake in it. Ame logo to hoisu, nahi hoisu, kevi halat ma hoisu, we cannot tell. But we try to get young people apart from the humor, because we feel they are more open to new possibilities. Their minds have not got concretized or become stiff. So that's why we take. As just now mentioned by a young lady here, one of the things that we have done, we have Viksit Gujarat vision, right? So we have a vision for 2047. That vision says that we should grow pretty fast to reach a size of 3.5 trillion US dollars by 2047 in 20 years. Right now we are somewhere around 300 billion. So you can understand the pace of economic acceleration that is required. So our job was to think about how that is possible, what sectors we should be looking at, and how do we ensure, more important, that all this development doesn't take place only in 2 or 3 nodes. આપણે જાણીએ છીએ, બરાબર? That happens throughout the country also. There is a tendency for people to be attracted to certain locations, and those locations actually get kind of beyond their carrying capacity. So we have done 2 things. One is we have tried to find sectors where we need to accelerate our economy, and second, we have tried to spread out this economic development across the state. One of the reasons for also asking economic drivers to be spread out is to ensure that what we call in Gujarati, Chellana, Chevadana Manvi. That means the last human being in the borders of the state should also enjoy the benefits of development. So this is the principal philosophy. When we moved ahead, we divided, or we identified 6 economic regions. Here we are in Central Gujarat Economic Region, which has got Baroda, Mahisagar, Dahod, Panchmahals, Anand, Kheda, Narmada, etc., about 8 districts. And in each of these regions, we try to identify priority sectors. So the priority sectors can be either in manufacturing or in services also. All of you are aware, Gujarat is very strong in manufacturing, but not as strong in services as compared to, let's say, financial services in Mumbai, Maharashtra, or IT services down south, etc. So we want to develop both manufacturing and services. And then we, of course, engaged consultants, bright young minds, etc., to identify. Because I have been Secretary Pharmaceuticals, and Mr. Sai will know this, for 3 years, I do believe that while Gujarat is very strong in pharmaceuticals, there is a need for the state to move ahead towards biologics, what they are called. That is like, gene therapy, cell therapy, what was discussed. I was aware of that. But I also find that there are many more opportunities within the bioeconomy. So we have identified bioeconomy as a priority sector. In bioeconomy, it's not that we want to develop it only here in Central Gujarat. We are looking at, for example, blue economy based biotechnology in the coastal Saurashtra. So in Bhavnagar, Veraval, etc., we are looking at marine chemicals, marine organisms that can be used for creating new products, etc. Plus we are looking, of course, at Central Gujarat. One of the reasons was that we already have strong here, we have dairy, we have fairly strong pharma, we already have pretty good fertilizers, we have engineering industry, etc. We felt that in each of this there is an opportunity for a bio, how shall I call it, counterpart. So whether it is chemicals, bio-based chemicals we want to look at. So you have GSFC, IPCL, etc. But we want biochemicals. If it is pharma, we want biopharma. If it is fuel, we want biofuels. If it is fertilizers, we want biofertilizers. So if it is dairy, we want to go towards enhanced products, etc. So we thought that there is a need for Gujarat not to only focus on biosimilars, though that is of course very important, but to look at the entire range of bio-manufacturing. You are aware, Government of India also has a bio-manufacturing mission. Gokhale sir is a very good friend and colleague of mine. They also have the Bio-E-cell, which they are supporting, etc. So there is intention both at the central government and the state government level. We have in Gujarat, I'm sure in the presentation it must have been shown, We have some infrastructure, and I am very proud, sir, that Gujarat has gone for the first public funded BSL 4 also. All of us remember during the early days of COVID vaccine development, what we felt as a gap. So we want to invest in infrastructure. We want to provide the infrastructure for entrepreneurs. We want to support startups because a lot of innovation in biotechnology will come from startups. Already there are, I think, 700 bio startups or so, 300, but we would like to do it in a very systematic way. We would like to do it in an accelerated way. So the responsibility of implementing the strategy for bioeconomy lies with the Department of Biotechnology under the Department of Science and Technology. Jadeja Saib is there, Anand is there, all these bright people are there. What we wanted was to get your inputs, because there is a limit to how much as government servants we would have experience of specific sector. So today we have invited academic institutions because skills are important. Apna tyang Gujarat ma, you will find any number of chemistry graduates, postgraduates. Emma, let me tell you, Ben, my maid, house help, her son, and I am talking about 1990s, 2000, Gandhinagar ma mari Sita Ben છે, એમનો છોકરો તે વખતે analytical chemistry and MSc કરી. And he is earning close to 1 lakh. His father may have been a chowkidar, but the boy is earning 1 lakh today. He may be about 40 years old now. So in Gujarat, you will find lots of people going into chemistry, pharmacy studies, into even biochemistry, but we need to develop skills around biotechnology. In GRIT, sir, we have prepared a full document, submitted it to government, particularly higher education, sir, and we showed it also to Adia sir. Adia sir has also sent it to higher and technical education. I'm sure I will share with you also. We have listed the current courses. We have taken data from 23 colleges or universities, and we have listed the current courses and given suggestion about what courses we should have using international examples. So on skilling, we have already provided fairly detailed inputs, and I would be happy that if DBT takes it up with your counterpart, Talati Saib to have retired thai gaya, Jaleja Saib, but whoever is there in higher and technical education, karva jevu છે, because skilled manpower is the first requirement. Emathi some will come as workforce, some may become entrepreneurs. Second, DBT is already investing a lot in infrastructure. So we have Savli Park, and in Savli there is some additional land. We want to develop it as the bioeconomy hub. A GIDCA kayu che sir, ki we will definitely do, that is there. Already you have the GBU, you have GBRC, you have GSBTM, all of them are very, very good institutions. We have the entrepreneurs, we have the industrial investors, etc. But I think what is required is focus. So today's inputs will be very important to us. But my request, sir, કેમ કે અમે તો think tank છીએ, suggestion કરી દઈએ, પણ એની granularity માં detail કરીને exactly what are the product segments that Gujarat should be looking at. I will give an example, right? For example, we have Morbi ceramics, right? Domestic ceramics, if 1300 units are making domestic ceramics, ghar mate tile, toilet mate tile, I don't need 1300 and first unit also to make domestic ceramics. He should make space ceramics or industrial ceramics. Similarly, in biotechnology, whether it is fuels, whether it is fertilizers, मैं चालू थई गई. Whether it is pharma, whether it is agriculture, whether it is dairy, you talked about animal-free whey protein, etc. I would be very grateful if there is some way of collecting the product segments we should be looking at. What is the specific infrastructure for that product segment? It is not necessary that all the infrastructure has to be funded by the government. If we prepare the, the ground, we can also have private investment for the infrastructure for biotechnology. Like if we set up a research park, like you have in IIT Madras, there is a research park. Even the Pfizer is having a couple of floors there. So if you feel that there is something we should do, please give your suggestions. We can think about research park either in Savli or in the university, etc. So skills I talked about infrastructure, I talked about the product segments that we should focus on. Last point which I would like to talk about, of course you talked about regulatory compliance burden, that is not in our remit, but I'm sure that current dispensation in Government of India, Rajiv Raghuvanshi is there, they are very forward looking, and I'm sure if DBT is able to put together, Anand, if you are able to put together the problems that are being faced at least by this group, we can share it with DCGI through Saib here and try to get some resolution, even creating a platform, etc. Regarding the Bharati, everybody also talked, a few people also talked about regulatory delays, etc. So it will be very, very good if, because she is there, I'm saying she is one of our most outstanding officers, and we have one of our most open-minded, forward-looking ministers also, sir. So I request that we have to create a platform where investors can share their problems, and then we can pass it on to the respective departments, try to follow up. You can have a dedicated cell for that. I will make the recommendation if you so wish. So the last point is the policy. So in policy, we already have a DBT policy for biotechnology. It has done pretty well. Some incentives have been given, etc., etc. We are thinking, I think now Bharati madam has also asked GRIT to work with her on this. We look forward to your inputs on policy, and I will stop now. I just want to say, I mean, I am now 40 years completed, sir. Sarkari naukri mein 40 varas pura thai gaya. See, policy is not only incentive. So sometimes we make the mistake कि फलाना 35% आपे छे तो अपने 38% आपिए, है ना? कोई जमीन आपको 5 रुपया में दे रहा है तो मैं 4.5 रुपया में देती हूँ. That is not the policy we are looking at. Though you may talk about the rate of incentives, we would like particularly your inputs on the special requirements of biotechnology. For example, gestation period is longer. So it is not like an engineering industry कि आपने आज plot लिया and 2 years you can start selling your product. It is not. Gestation period is high because there is innovation, there is regulatory oversight. So you have to go to RCBM even at the lab level. Forget the animal studies, etc. Right? And there is more market risk. There may be technology transfer barriers, etc. There may be skilled manpower barriers. So you talk about those things. Please give inputs. Not कि you give us 40%, 50%, 80%. What are the barriers that you have to overcome through a policy input? That will be very useful, I think, to the policy makers. Of course, everything that is coming to us may or may not happen, because in government everything is a process of negotiation of the possible, which is given the resources. But we will certainly give assurance that we will try our best. Because this is an industry I am extremely keen should come to Gujarat. I am very keen for this because આપણા ત્યાં chemicals બહુ છે સર, engineering છે, auto parts પણ આવી ગયા, but that is not the future. હવે ઓટોમાં પણ જો સર ICE કોણ બનાવે છે? હવે તો બધા EV જ બનાવવાના. એ જ રીતે in medical devices. Last week I had a workshop on medical devices. Now medical devices are going to be wearables. No, they are going to be wearables, remote sensing. New products are coming in everything. So biotechnology is the technology of the future. IT pati gyu che, have biotechnology is the technology of the future. So I will be very grateful for all your comments. They will go into the policy making. So skilled manpower, the infrastructure, the investors and the investor facilitation, and lastly the policy inputs which will remove the barriers to successful and speedy implementation of projects. So these are the inputs we are looking for. Already I heard a few when I was sitting, but all the more whichever come, we would be very happy to work with DBT sir under your guidance to provide a policy that is responsive to the beneficiaries, so to say. We are not in the forefront, but we would like to find products where we can be in the forefront. We don't want to play catch up. वो Me Too बोलते हैं ना, ये बना रहा है तो हम भी बनाते हैं. That is not our intention. Our intention is to find products, niche products where we can lead. And it can be in pharma or it can be outside pharma, not a problem. So I think biotechnology also includes medical devices, right? So Anand, you were there in that workshop also. So bioengineering, biomaterials, all of that I would really welcome. Sir, thank you for giving me opportunity. And I will go to a third seminar. This is the second seminar. So being think tank, we have to be everywhere. But afterwards, I will sit with Bharati and her team to understand exactly what inputs we have got and how best we can reflect it in the policy. Thank you so much.
Thank you so much, ma'am, for sharing the insights about conceptual framework on Central Gujarat Economic Master Plan and some of the visionary projects being planned for further boosting the bioeconomy in the region and state. Thank you so much once again, ma'am. And now I would like to invite Dr. Snehal Bakhtaria, Joint Director GSBTM, to share insights about Gujarat biotechnology policy. Yes, sir.
Honorable Minister, sir, Shri Arjun Modwadia, sir, Honorable Secretary Shri Bharti ma'am, Chairperson Great Aparna ma'am who already left, and Jadeja sir, Mission Director Biotechnology Mission, Shri Dr. Rakesh Rawal, Director GBU, industry captains, eminent experts from academia, and participants. It is my privilege to, briefly discuss about biotechnology policy and outcomes of the biotechnology policy, as we are in the last year of biotech policy and government is, deliberating on, coming out with a new biotech policy. GREET and DST is jointly developing a new biotech policy to boost the bioeconomy in the state. So as you all know, and many of you are beneficiary of biotech policy provides capex support up to 200 crores, OPEX support up to 125 crores, and interest subsidy support up to 125 crores. The capex support is up to 25%, OPEX is 15%, and interest subsidy is 7%. The present policy has attracted investment as of now near about 10,300 crores, and near about 106 companies have been given the in principle approval, out of which Central Gujarat has been the major contributor with more than 50% investment is in Central Gujarat region. Total 6,380 crores is a investment in Central Gujarat, followed by South Gujarat near about 2,200 crores, Saurashtra and Kutch near about 1,200 crores, and North Gujarat 486 crores. As you all know, biologics have been and is a major contributor in the present biotechnology, policy tenure, where biologics has contributed near about 50% of the total investment with near about 5,000 crores, which includes major players like Intas, Mankind, Concord, and other leading. Along with that, there has been, we have been seeing, smaller players coming out in the fermentation space where APIs or biologics segment. We have, post biologics, bioenergy is a major sector where Gujarat is contributing, and near about 40% investments out of this 10,000 crore is into bioenergy sector. And of course, there are other upcoming sectors where, like bioagri, biomed devices, bioinformatics, research services. This contributes to 10% of the overall investment. And I'm sure with the new policy and, newer technologies coming in, with all of your inputs, we will be focusing on developing a new biotech policy as it is envisaged by GREET and Science and Technology Department. The new policy which we are trying to develop is in the lines of BioE3 policy. So there is a synergy between GOI and GOG policies, and we wish that all of you, give your inputs into developing this new policy. Along with that, we have certain new infrastructure projects which are coming in, which includes a Central Gujarat Bioeconomy Hub, Marine Biotechnology Research Corridor, biomanufacturing facilities, both biofertilizer and biopesticides, which will provide a hand-holding for various players working into the smaller segments into this area. With this, I thank all of you for giving valuable inputs on biotech policy, and will request the copy of policy is there with you, and contact details of biotechnology mission are there. I'll request all of you to give your inputs. Thank you.
Bioeconomics 2026@gmail.com પર તમે તમારા બધાના સજેશન્સ આપી શકો છો. Kindly note that down. And thank you so much, sir, for sharing your insights about the policy benefits and opportunities available to the industries. And now, it's time to encourage some of our young minds and innovators who have put into their hard work developing some of their unique products. We request Honorable Cabinet Minister, Sir, Shri Arjun Bhai Morwadia, sir, to kindly launch products by STBI nurtured startups and encourage the march towards technological sovereignty and innovation commercialization. I invite STBI team and respective startups to felicitate their product launch. All right, so I invite the team from Prahas Healthcare LLP, Mr. Hasnain Bansiwala and team Prahas Healthcare onto the dais with their breakthrough invention, the HCG saliva pregnancy test, moving beyond legacy methods. This non-invasive point of care diagnostic device reinvents testing by detecting HCG levels directly from a simple saliva sample in just 10 to 20 seconds, eliminating urine collection completely. Highly scalable for low-resource environments and community health sectors. It holds a CDSCO license approval. A huge round of applause for Prahas Healthcare LLP, ladies and gentlemen. Next, I would like to invite Bullion World Solutions Private Limited, Mr. Mihir Shah and team onto the dais with Badal Private Cloud Storage, serving our data economy and cyber infrastructure. This secure enterprise ready appliance runs on native Badal OS iOS, keeping your proprietary data safely stored on premises rather than on third-party servers. It delivers cross-platform access for healthcare providers, MSMEs, and defense institutions while fully aligning with India's Digital Personal Data Protection DPDP Act. A huge round of applause, ladies and gentlemen, for Bullion World Solutions Private Limited. Immediately, I would like to request We Biotech Private Limited to be ready. Dr. Chetan Sohalia and team. Kindly come on the dais to launch BioSil concentrated gel, engineered using advanced trisiloxane silicone technology. This highly efficient adjuvant concentrate serves as an ultra-spreading activator and wetting agent for agricultural sprays. It enhances performance across pesticides, herbicides, and fertilizers by increasing stomatal penetration and leaf retention, drastically cutting chemical waste and runoff environmental pollutions. Next, I would like to invite Mr. Pranay and team Neev Nav to come onto the dais with their whole food adaptogen bar. Keep clapping, everybody. Applying biotechnology to precision functional foods, they have developed clean nutrition bars containing pure, bioavailable, adaptogenic extracts like ashwagandha and brahmi. This product achieves up to 4x greater active component bioavailability to clinically lower stress biomarkers, boost neutral body repair, and reduce sleep latency for busy professionals. Next, I would like to invite Mr. Divyesh and team Deltora Biopolymers to come up on dais with their 100% bio and compostable bottle. This structural bioplastic triumph offers an unbreakable, lightweight alternative to standard glass and harmful fossil fuel single-use plastics, engineered to leave zero legacy of persistent microplastics. The bottle degrades safely back into natural biomass and is certified under international standards including ISO 17088, EN 13432, and ASTM D6400. Congratulations, team. Next, I would like to invite Mr. Ratin and Team CuroWise to introduce their premium healthcare and wellness range, CuroWise. They have engineered a targeted range of nutraceutical capsules and supplements including metabolic balance, skin radiance, calm energy, and gentle sleep, formulated using clinically researched, patented active botanical ingredients. These target-oriented wellness supplements are manufactured within US FDA-registered FSSAI-approved production systems. Team CuroWise, ladies and gentlemen. तालियां बजा दीजिए. All right, thank you so much. And now it's time to celebrate innovation, sustainability, and the spirit of entrepreneurship that is driving our bioeconomy, health, and clean tech future. Under the prestigious Nidhi Seed Support Scheme facilitated by the Sauli Technology and Business Incubator, significant seed funding has been sanctioned to total 7 startups. Considering the time, we felicitate 3 startups that are pushing the boundaries of technology. First of all, we have AirX Innovations Private Limited. Our first recipient is making massive waves in the climate tech and clean tech sector. A seed funding of rupees 40 lakh has been sanctioned to AirX Innovations Private Limited. Next was Orthograph Private Limited, and the third one is Lumina Meditech Private Limited. MOU. All right, it's now time for a strategic MOU exchanges. I invite Quantum Zyme and GBU to exchange the MOU for the purpose of joint research projects, advanced enzyme engineering, biocatalysis, protein engineering, and green chemistry commercialization. I invite Asar Health LLP and GBU to exchange the MOU for the purpose of healthcare technology innovation, public health awareness frameworks, clinical outreach, and community-based healthcare research. Next, we have Asar Health LLP and GBU to exchange the MOU. I would request IOTA Diagnostic Private Limited to be ready. Thank you so much. I invite IOTA Diagnostics Private Limited and GBU to exchange the MOU for the purpose of point-of-care diagnostic manufacturing, medical device development, infectious disease screening, and translational validation studies. Next, I would like to request Prompt Innovations Private Limited to be ready. All right, I invite Prompt Innovations Private Limited and GBU to exchange the MOU for the purpose of dairy engineering technology, advanced cold chain solutions, food biotechnology, and industry academia innovation projects. Envirazyme LLP, please be ready. Congratulations, thank you. Now I invite Envirazyme LLP and GBU to exchange the MOU for the purpose of scaling up environmental biotechnology, industrial bioprocess optimization, enzyme-based waste management, and bioremediation R&D. Come on, everybody, give a huge round of applause to each one of them. All right, so next I would like to invite Mankind Medicare Private Limited and GSBTM to exchange the MOU for the purpose of establishing a state-of-the-art biopharmaceuticals manufacturing facility in Vadodara, bringing an investment of rupees 1,348.40 crores and proposing to generate 500 jobs. Sterling Biotech Limited, please be ready. Thank you so much. I invite Sterling Biotech Limited and GSBTM to exchange the MOU for the purpose of establishing a core biotechnology facility for beta-lactoglobulin production in Bharuch with an investment of rupees 883 crores. I will request Shukun Ethanol Private Limited to be ready next. Congratulations. I invite Shukun Ethanol Private Limited and GSBTM to exchange the MOU for the purpose of setting up a commercial bioethanol manufacturing plant in Kheda, investing 240 crores to scale up our regional biofuel infrastructure. I'll request Aksar Bioenergy LLP to be ready next. All right, I invite Aksar Bioenergy LLP and GSBTM to exchange the MOU for the purpose of building a facility for the manufacturing of bio-CNG and biofertilizers in Panchmahal with an investment of rupees 31.89 crores. I'll request Sri Virat Orgo Private Limited to be ready. Congratulations, everybody, keep clapping. Thank you so much. I invite Sri Virat Orgo Private Limited and GSBTM to exchange the MOU for the purpose of building an eco-efficient compressed biogas plant in Vadodara with an investment of rupees 26.77 crores. Come on, everybody. I'll request Ravi Environmental Solutions Private Limited to be ready next. All right, thank you so much, sir. I invite Ravi Environmental Solutions Private Limited, an STBI startup and investee, and GSBTM to exchange the MOU for the purpose of setting up an industrial unit for manufacturing for anaerobic biomass and nutritional formalization in Vadodara with an investment of rupees 6.50 crores. I'll request Prahas Healthcare LLB to be on stage quickly. Prahas Healthcare LLP and GSBTM to exchange the MOU for the purpose of launching a dedicated commercial facility for the production of diagnostics in Vadodara with an investment of rupees 4.30 crores. I'll request Terra Preta International Private Limited to be ready next. Congratulations. Now I invite Terra Preta International Private Limited and GSBTM to exchange the MOU for the purpose of establishing a biofertilizer and biopesticides manufacturing plant in Ahmedabad, investing rupees 1 crore to boost our sustainable agriculture framework. Come on, everybody, give a huge round of applause. Next, I would like to invite on stage GSFC University and ICMR, National Institute of Occupational Health, Ahmedabad, Dr. Bhavesh Modi, Director ICMR, National Institute of Occupational Health, Ahmedabad, and Professor G.R. Sinha, Provost GFC University, to kindly come forward to exchange the MOU. This collaboration will promote joint research, academic exchange, internships, training, and knowledge sharing in the field of occupational and environmental health. Thank you so much. All right, and quickly now I'll request Honorable Cabinet Minister Sir Shri Arjunbhai Modwadia ji to come here and address the audience. I request everybody kindly get settled quickly. Sir is going to speak now.
Dear friends, today I think so many suggestions we received and so many MOU have been signed. Of course, bioeconomy is not fully explored, but now it is picking up in Gujarat. When Gujarat decides to take a lead, it takes a lead. We are leader in pharmaceuticals. We are leader in chemicals. We are leader in ceramics. We are leader in so many segments of the industries. Of course, we were behind in electronics and semiconductors, but now Gujarat is a leader in semiconductor and electronics. We would be leader in data center too. We are becoming a leader in space sector, and of course, we would be leader in bioeconomy too. So thank you for coming over here. So many suggestions we received. Definitely, we would deliberate on the suggestions and come out with the solution. In bioeconomy, so many areas is there. But almost unexplored area is a blue economy. On globe, only 1/3 land is there. 2/3 area is covered by the ocean. And ocean is so many things is unexplored. Gujarat is fortunate to have a largest coastal area. So many possibilities is there. So I request all of you to explore this particular area. And we spent enough time over here in deliberation. Definitely, on the basis of your suggestion, we would come up with the policy and solution. Thank you very much.
Thank you so much, sir, for your motivating words and guidance. And I'll quickly request for a group for a photograph. All right, so now I'll request Dr. Ansuya Bhadalkar, ma'am, Joint Director GSBTM, to deliver a vote of thanks. Everybody give a huge round of applause for Ansuya, ma'am. Come on. All right, so it's now time for MOU exchange. GSFC University and Farmson Basic Drugs Private Limited. I'll request Mr. Sedhu Madhavan, Vice President, Human Resources, Farmson Basic Drugs Private Limited, and Mr. Manish Pradhan, Registrar, GSFC University, to exchange the MOU. This partnership marks a significant step towards strengthening academia-industry collaboration through internships, skill development, research, and industry engagement. Come on, everybody, give a huge round of applause. Quickly, I'll request Indus Fire Safety Private Limited to be ready. Indus Fire Safety Private Limited and GSFC University. The MOU exchange between two of them. This partnership will strengthen academia-industry collaboration in the areas of fire safety, industrial training, internships, research, and skill development. We have Mr. Balagopal R. Nair, sir, Managing Director, Indus Fire Safety Private Limited, and Professor G.R. Sinha, Provost, GSFC University, with us. A huge round of applause, everybody. Thank you. And once again, I request Dr. Ansuya Bhadulkar, Joint Director, GSBTM, to deliver a vote of thanks. Thank you.
Thank you, Manali. Good evening, everyone. It is indeed an honor and a privilege to be standing here and proposing the vote of thanks. This huge gathering that is here inside the hall and the gathering that is also standing outside, wanting to be a part of this roundtable discussion, is indeed a very encouraging sign for the state government as well as for all the other startups to have a very good flavor of how government can help everyone, one, and secondly, how it is so important as a sector, biotechnology, to have startups. So I will start my vote of thanks with first thanking our dear Minister, Shri Arjun Bhai Modwadia, sir, for his gracious presence for the MOU signing as well as the product launch that he has done. And he taking a note of the issues that have been presented by the industry indeed is a sign that the message has gone well and it will be taken up. Thank you very much, sir. Next, I will want to thank Ms. Aparna for CEO GRIT for laying out the master plan and the vision of how the central Gujarat region can be converted into a bioeconomy hub. As everyone is aware that this city, Vadodara, along with some more cities which have been always an education hub and an industrial hub for pharmaceuticals, can certainly very easily be upgraded into a bioeconomy hub. So I thank Aparna ma'am for doing the presentation for the master plan of bioeconomy. I would want to thank our own secretary, Ms. Bharti, for discussing in detail the vision that the state government has and how as a state government department, we look forward to developing this region as a bioeconomy hub. So something that has been laid out as a plan by GRIT will be translated into a reality through the Department of Science and Technology. Thank you very much, ma'am, for leading us to this. I would thank Dr. Snehal Bakhtaria for sharing with all of us as to how the biotech policy can coax the entire bioeconomy ecosystem that is there, already existing there, and that can grow further. Thank you, Dr. Bakhtaria. I will certainly want to thank the industry captains who have joined us here and all the other industry representatives, because without your inputs and without this discussion that we had today, the roundtable would have not led anywhere. So thank you entire industry fraternity for joining us for this program. I would last but never the least, I will want to extend a very warm, heartfelt gratitude to my colleagues from Savli Technology and Business Incubator and Gujarat State Biotechnology Mission, because they have all worked relentlessly towards putting this program together and ensuring that a fruitful discussion happens towards developing Central Gujarat as the bioeconomy hub. So thank you, STBI and GSBTM team. And at the end. Thank you one and all. Thank you very much.
Thank you so much, Ansuya ma'am. And I, Manali Shah, hereby formally announce the end of the session and request everybody for a group photograph. Kindly stay for a group photograph, everybody. It will take just 2 minutes. All right, so if anyone is having any question, we are here only, the team is here only. So we can continue with that. All right, या फिर आप अपने जितने भी queries है वो डाल सकते हैं on bioeconomic2026@gmail.com. Kindly post your queries and questions there. The team will make sure to answer all your queries and bring out the solutions. Thank you so much once again, everybody. Have a nice day.